So over the past weekend, we had a handful of online tournaments over here on Limitless TCG that had a decent amount of players. So the game plan for today, guys, is we're going to go through and take a look at a bunch of these events. We're going to take a look at all of the tournaments that had at least 50 players or more and kind of, just have a look at the teams that won, do a little bit of meta analysis, see who's, popping off right now. And yeah, basically just have a fun time looking at some, teams that are performing pretty well. But before we jump into it, I will quickly add, in the last video, I did basically covering some of these online events. I did get a bunch of requests in the comments saying like, hey, how do I sign up for these events? So guys, I will leave a link to Limitless TCG down below in the description. Essentially, you come in here, you sign in, you find, a tournament like one of these guys, for example. Do you want to play on a showdown? You want to play on cart? All that kind of stuff, yeah. And then basically, you just click register, right? Obviously, there are a few, pretty big ones. The Citrus series recently have had 2 pretty big events as well. And I'm sure as the week goes on, obviously, guys like Nino and Wide League as well will also put up events. Tommy, I'm not sure if Tommy and Himi will do events this week, but basically, you can come in here, you can see them all here. Right? These are all the events within the next 7 days. More will pop up as time goes on. But yeah, definitely come here, check it out. It's pretty good. But yeah, to start us off today, we'll start at the bottom here. We're going to look at the Nino event. This was the biggest one of the weekend. It had 93 players. It also had a really cool team that won the tournament. So we'll click into it here. And as you can see, Polo here goes 9-2, rocking one of the craziest teams I've actually seen for the entirety of the format. It is really, really cool, right? So you have a look at this team. We have the Tailwind Live Orb Hydreigon. Tailwind Hydreigon's definitely been picking up a lot lately. We normally see it on Covet Cloak sets where they'll go like Covet Cloak double stab with Protect and Tailwind. Pretty good. But here, obviously, the Life Orb giving it that little bit of extra oomph. We see Conkeldurr here as well, I believe, getting its first win of the regulation, at least from what I've seen. This is the Flame Orb Gut set with Terra Poison. Obviously, Terra Poison's a very good defensive typing. Into like Pokemon like the Fairy types, for example. Doesn't help you into the Psychic types, but it does give you a Stab Poison Jab, which is honestly pretty good right now because we don't have that many physical poison types. And then Drain Punch and Mic Punch are just very, very solid on this one. Obviously, gives you a lot of staying power and good priority. Clear Amulet Gyarados is another Pokemon I think a lot of people kind of expect to see pick up. Obviously, it is one of the better Dragon Dance users in the game. Also, one of the best Terra Flying ones right there with probably D-Knight as the 2 best ones with Terra Flying, Terra Blast doing a lot of damage. We see a Charcoal Shandy here. Cool thing about Shandy as well is this is a Pokemon that can function both inside Trick Room and inside Tailwind. It's in that really cool like middle speed tier of about 80 where, yeah, you can go like no investment. It can function under Trick Room. It's also a decent Trick Room setter. And again, if you get up the Tailwind with the Hydreigon, it will outspeed a majority of the metagame. Choice Spec Sylveon, one of the most powerful Pokemon in the metagame right now. Some really cool stuff here as well that I like to see. You got the Hyper Voice and Hyper Beam, obviously the 2 most powerful stab moves on this one. But opting for the Weather Ball and the Shadow Ball. Now, this was really interesting because a lot of the time, people have been running things like Terra Blast Sylveon, right? It gives you a single target attack that also, works with Terra, right? You go for something like Defensive Terra Fire. And then obviously it gives you a Terra Fire Blast that allows you to hit things like Golden Go, right? But this set here says, nah, we're just Choice Specs Terra Fairy. We're going to absolutely nuke everything with Hyper Voice. And it's going to be a pretty damn good time. And then finally, we got a Abomasnow here. Like, it kind of looks random, right? It's like, again, most people right now are running Ninetales. But that's where the Weather Ball comes in, right? Obviously, you got Weather Ball plus Abomasnow. So maybe Sylveon's the best ice type in the game. I don't know. I was using Porygon Z as the best ice type in the game. But, maybe he's onto something here with the Sylveon plus Abomasnow. But yeah, really cool. Obviously, Abomasnow does give you obviously a weather setter. It also gives you an Aurora Veil setter, which is really good too. And it is the grass type on this team, which is honestly a really interesting Firewater grass, right? We're seeing Gyarados, Chandelure, and Abomasnow. Yeah, awesome team here. I do absolutely love to see it. We see my guy Dragapult here in 2nd place. This is another really cool take on one of these like more offensive teams as well. Obviously, you've got these pieces in Dragapult and Golden Go, very good offensively. You've got Incineroar and Amoonguss as well to pair with them, obviously also incredibly good. But then you just have this like Ursaluna plus P2 Trick Room mode, which again, it functions really cool because this team kind of has like 2 different modes, right? You can go like, Incin, Incin and Amoonguss kind of function on both modes, but you can go like Dragapult plus Golden Go and you've got this really offensive core where, you're kind of fast, you can go hard, you've got good support to allow Golden Go to attack. And then you got this other core, which is like, hey, we got P2, we're going to get up Trick Room, Amoonguss is going to spore everything, and eventually Guts Ursaluna is going to break through your team. So really cool there as well. And I do love seeing Substitute, obviously fantastic against teams that want to, stall out your Trick Room with Protect. Also really good if you are in a situation where it's like Ursaluna sitting next to Amoonguss, because then you can just go Spore Sub. It's pretty free. Also can't Intimidate, cycle the Ursaluna as well. So yeah, really awesome team there by Crystal Kiwi. We have a Sand team here as well with 2 starters, which is really cool to see. Bandemiask Rider is picking up right now. I think this is an incredibly good Pokemon. I do think T-Tar plus Excadrill also is a very good combo here. Very interesting to see it's Terra Grass and not Terra Flying, but we do see the weakness policy set here as well with Lash Out, which I do think is actually really cool. And then Choice Scarf, Hisuian Typhlosion right now, I do think is probably the best Choice Scarf mod in the game. And I think Hisuian Typhlosion plus Giraffe is actually also an incredibly good combo. Because when you have Choice Scarf, Terra Fire, you can just go Eruption and Helping Hand and kind of just nuke teams. And then finally, of course, Blood Moon Ursaluna. It gives you that, that Trick Room mode where you can say, hey, we are pretty fast, we're pretty strong, Meowscarada's quick, obviously Hisuian Typhlosion's quick, and Excadrill, in Sand is also really quick, but then you can also say, hey, I've got a slower mode where I've got the Giraffe, I got the Blood Moon Ursaluna, and I got the Tyranitar, all of which can function under Trick Room. So yeah, really cool team here, and opting, funny enough, for the Vacuum Wave in that last slot too, I did think was really interesting. I've also gone too far, what happened there? There we go. We see a Sunroom team here as well. I'll have a look at this one, but this is probably the last one we look at for this. But yeah, this is just a very simple set, right? You've got the Torkoal Lilligant saying, hey, I've got, after you Eruptions if I want it. You got the Side Spam stuff as well, where you got like Indeedee plus Hat, like, hey, I can go slow mode, pair that with Ursaluna. Or you can go on more of a fast mode where you're like, hey, maybe my Armourouge plus Indeedee is going to come on lead. And then you can go for things just like Meteor Beam into like E-Force Armor Cannon, just really, really strong. But yeah, really cool Sunroom team here. I do love to see it. Why does that keep doubling up, man? I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately. But anyway, yeah, we have like another Dondozo team here with Pawmot. We are seeing Pawmot pick up quite a bit right now with Dondozo teams in particular. But yeah, just a really cool offensive team. D-Knight right now is so underrated. This one I think is kind of insane right now. Choice Banded D-Knight, he's got the Terra Flying, Terra Blast, he's got the E-Speed, just really, really strong. The Banded Outrages as well as a nuke. If you don't have a Fairy type, you're getting bopped. But yeah, this is just a really good team at like breaking a hole through the opponent to set up for the Dozogiri. Oh yeah, back-to-back Mouse Apes as well. This is actually funny enough that they're the first two we see here, and they're at the back end of the top 8. But again, of course, Mouse Ape's pretty damn good. This is just a pretty solid balanced team, right? It's a really good team at setting up the Mouse Hold and Annihilate to kind of run through the game. We are seeing that Covet Cloak set I was talking about earlier, this time opting for Snarl as well. AV Rillaboom's obviously pretty standard, very standard Blood Moon and Ursaluna set. And this is also one of the 2 standard Primarina sets right now. I'm a big fan of Mystic Water. I do think it's a little better than Throat Spray in my opinion. Just because you don't need to set up, you can kind of just fire off those really powerful Hyper Voices straight away. But obviously, if you do get Throat Spray up, it is pretty damn good. But yeah, a relatively standard set on these two here. Opting for Helping Hand over, support like Feint or Super Fang as well on that Mouse Hold. So that's really cool here as well. And then we see like a Mouse Ape Sand team. This is also really cool. I enjoy this. One thing I will say is I was testing Talonflame plus Garchomp a lot in the early meta. And I think I've mentioned this in a past video as well. But I just felt like the Garchomp didn't do enough damage. Granted, I was playing Swords Dance, and I think that was probably why. And yeah, I look at this team here. I really think that like Life Orb Terra Ground is the way to go. Obviously, Garchomp's biggest issue right now is things like Rillaboom. Obviously, Rillaboom just basically neuters you from clicking Earthquake. But thankfully, Rillaboom's only like 40% usage. So 60% of the time, the mon's pretty damn good. And if you go up against something like Rillaboom, you have a lot of other answers, right? You got that Terra Flying on the Cheetah. Obviously, you have the Talonflame here with the Brave Bird with Terra Flying as well. You also have the Golden Go who can just deal massive damage with Terra Steel, Make It Rain. And of course, Mouse Ape is just Mouse Ape's Mouse Ape. If you over prepare for like anything else on this team, Mouse Ape will just run through you. So yeah, that's a really cool team as well. Is there anything else I want to touch on here before we move on? This is like, what is this? Just like screens plus setup. Yeah, it's just like screens setup, Gyarados. Basically, yeah, the whole team looks like it's kind of like, hey, I've got like these like 3 mons that can potentially set up. Technically 4 with Glamora. And then you just got like Rillaboom plus screens as well, which is obviously pretty good. Good to see Skeletor's getting some play as well. I do think this mon is actually pretty good right now. So I'm not surprised to see it rising up in usage. And that's just like a relatively standard rain team. Maybe this team here we can look at as well, because I'm guessing this is Dragon Cheer. Yeah, so this is the Dragon Cheer Salazzle stuff, where you pair it with Hydreigon, and then yeah, Dragon Cheer plus a Dragon type with Razor Claw is just 100% crit. It also means that the Hydreigon does not have to be the Pokemon that is going for the the focus energies, right? It enables the Salazzle to support the Hydreigon, and yeah, it feels pretty good. Hisuian Samurott as well. This is a mon I will probably make a video about in the coming week. I'm just trying to figure out if I can get a team together with it or not. But I think this is another massive sleeper mon in the metagame right now. I think it has an incredibly good matchup into the metagame. I think Sacred Sword is like the most underrated mon right now. Move right now. Also, I've just noticed no Ceaseless Edge, but they do have Night Slash. I don't know if Night Slash is actually boosted by Sharpness. I feel like it should be, right? It's a slashing move, it should be. And it doesn't miss as well, which I guess probably gives it that niche over Ceaseless Edge. Also, it does a bit more damage as well, so that is pretty cool. But yeah, Big Clef, another one I've spoken about as well. Redirection, really good into Dondozo, especially with Citrus Berry. And Choice Scarf Goldie as well, I do think is a little underrated right now. There's not that many good Choice Scarf Pokemon in the metagame. So you pair that with something like the Whimsicott here, and obviously, you can deal quite a bit of damage. But I think that'll be it for this event. I do like seeing the Toxicroak here as well. I have mentioned Toxicroak in the past, and Blood Moon as well. Sorry, regular Ursaluna on the Pelly as well is not too bad. This team's also kind of cool, but Illumise, in my opinion, is a bit of an interesting pick. We'll take a look at the metagame here. So who was like thriving in this event? We see obviously Conkeldurr wins the event, so that's not surprising. Salamence as well on a rain team. I must have missed that, but yeah, Salamon's rain really, really good. Skelly's good too. The Hisuian Typhlosion, this is another one as well that I'm really looking at building teams with because I do think it's a bit underrated right now. But yeah, nothing too insane. Gyarados' win rate's actually also really solid there as well. Same with Meowscarada. We'll move on to the next event here. I want to kind of, go through these. I don't want to go too crazy and on how in-depth I'm going. I just want to talk about some cool things. But once again, we actually see Snow winning another tournament back to back, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, again, I think having anti-weather right now is pretty good. And Snow is obviously not a bad shout, right? Because the cool thing with Snow teams is you don't hinder your team kind of like T-Tar does. Like, T-Tar plus Talonflame is a really good combo. But T-Tar can break the Gale Wings. Where Snow's just like, hey, I'm here. I changed the weather. I can switch it on water moves if I need to. And you know what? Maybe I'll get up in Aurora Veil, It also has Icy Wind support as well, which is really good right now. There are not that many really good secondary speed control options outside of Tailwind setters. Obviously, in the past, I've been using Electabuzz. So yeah, seeing Ninetales as well here is also really cool. But yeah, Goldie was set up here. No, surprised to actually see no Incin on no Rillaboom on a Golden Ghost setup. But of course, Incin and Amoonguss are here, just a very solid combo. Choice Scarf, adaptability, Basculin Legion is also really good right now. I think that's really solid. And of course, Blood Moon Ursaluna is just Blood Moon Ursaluna. You put the supports next to it, and this thing is just a walking nuke. So yeah, really cool team there. I was gonna say a standard team, but it's actually not. It's like you've got the Arch Rain, and then you just got like Chomp, with like the SD setup that I was kind of talking about earlier. Hisuian Arcanine as well. This is a really interesting take on these last 4 mons. That's really cool. Yeah, very, very interesting. Obviously, Hisuian Arcanine here, Intimidate Terra Fairy, which I think is good. Offensive Mimikyu as well, I do think is really sick as well. And one of the cool things with Curse Mimi that a lot of people forget is you can curse Dondozo and kind of like counter them pretty hard. Not to mention you go like Terra Fairy and set up with it as well, which is also nice, especially into like Trick Room teams. This is a relatively standard rain team here, so we won't talk about that one. This one here is really cool. I think we saw a very similar team to it do well in the Himi tour last week. But this is like offensive rain with Perishong as well, which I do think is like really cool. So like you got the Perishong Politoed, and the team's really good, right? You set up for the Basculin Legion, maybe the Basculin Legion takes a quick kill, same with the Archaladon. You pick up 1 or 2 quick KOs, and then you kind of just Perishong the mons in the back. So really, really nice. Gengar as well, seeing a bit of play too is really cool. Obviously it's a fast ghost type, one of the better poison types we have in the metagame right now, which is really cool. Rilla Incin's obviously pretty standard. Really interesting stuff here though with the loaded dice Terra Grass Bullet Seed. I feel like Woodhammer's just better, but I mean, maybe I'm just not thinking out the box enough here. I guess getting rid of the recoil, though, is obviously really nice. But yeah, really cool rain team there. Love to see Politoed getting some action. And of course, it's coming from a pretty cool Japanese team. This team here is really sick, actually. I didn't see this one before. This is like is this a Trick Room team? Yeah, it's like a hard Trick Room team here with 1 Trick Room setup. But yeah, I mean, Choice Specs Hydrapple doing a lot of damage, man. Fickle Beam with Choice Specs is insane if you get it to proc twice. Obviously, AV Gambit's really good. Torkoal is still really good. Clef is also still really good. And Setup Prim is also really nice. So yeah, that's a really cool team. Awesome to see the Hydrapple getting, some pretty good results here. This team as well actually looks pretty cool. Is this double setup or yeah, so yeah, so QD, yeah, so it's like double setup Rillaboom plus Sand, which is also really nice. Actually, yeah, sorry, yeah, 2 setup plus, I guess triple if you count Throat Spray, but yeah, that's a really cool team. Banded Drill in Sand goes pretty crazy, especially with the Terra Ground here. Really interesting to see Terra Ground next to your own Rillaboom, but I mean, it makes sense, right? Because a lot of the time you're probably not bringing them together. Rillaboom's more or less here to like support the Volcarona and Golden Go, and Prim as well. Where if you're going like the T-Type plus Drill, you're probably going to go with yeah, honestly, I don't even know what you're going to do there. Locking yourself into. Oh, he doesn't have EQ. I'm an idiot. Okay, he doesn't have EQ. Don't worry, ignore me. Yeah, so now it actually functions a lot better. I was thinking like, how are you locking yourself into Banded like Terra Ground EQ here, but doesn't have it. No stress. High horsepower. Also pretty good. Anything else here I want to look at? We see a Hisuian Decidueye team. I do like this. More Hisuian Decidueye. Actually, this team here as well. I think we're going to see it in a different event. Dude, a lot of Hisuian Decidueye here. My guy, 3 of them, right? Is that 3 in the top 16? Yeah, 3 Hisuian Decidueyes in the top 16. I love to see it there. But yeah, this team here too obviously goes 4-2 into a drop. Yeah, dude, my guy Decky Dewey, man. I love to see him. He's getting some play. He's running Haze on this team as well. That's actually Dozo answer. That's really cool. Was that the Decidueye? No, this was the Decidueye team I wanted to click on here as well, wasn't it? Yeah. So we're seeing the Sash Pult picking up as well, which is really interesting. I'm a huge fan of the banded one, but obviously it is a very squishy mon. Support Volcarona as well, obviously offensive Blood Moon, support Trick Room and DD with Seed as well, which is really good. Power Herb Glim, and yeah, Decidueye once again running the haze. Yeah, dude, I'm so glad Hisui Decidueye is starting to pick up a lot of play here. Anything crazy we want to look at here? Who's like winning? Mimi was really good. Toad was really good. Same with Jengar. Garchomp obviously had a really good showing here. A lot of Ninetales also had a pretty good showing, but obviously it won the event. So yeah, and we see Archelodon just like remaining strong. So yeah, pretty good showing from there. Any cool teams we want to look at here? This is, I guess this is like the standard Glimdoza right now. I think this is like one of the better ways to play it. Obviously, Talon plus Gold is really good at breaking a hole for you. Obviously, Glimora as well against the right team can break a hole, also get up the toxic debris, and then kind of allow Dozer to stall through. And Pawmot obviously is fantastic as well. Like, you know, with like an early Dozer, and then you kind of bring it back to life. So, yeah, really, really cool team there. We see another Salaman's Rain here. I do love to see this. I think this team's really cool. Obviously, you've got the standard Rain stuff here, right? You got the Pelly, Basculegion, Arch, and Amoonguss, and then you've got Gambit plus Salamence. Both ones that function really, really well inside Rain there. And again, Life Orb plus like Hurricane is it's really good, man. It does a lot of freaking damage. We have a pretty good actually wait, did I? Oh, okay, no, don't worry, it's not there. Don't worry. I was looking at some of the tournaments that had open pre-open there. We do see a little bit of a Sunroom here as well. We kind of spoke about one before, but basically Spam plus Sunroom, really good. Gallade on these teams is also like super sick. Personally, I would like to see Clear Amulet over Razor Claw, but I mean, I get it, right? You got a lot of high crit rate moves, so yeah, really, really cool team there. Anything in particular I want to look at here? We do see another Conkeldurr. This is a really cool team here, actually. I think Conk, Tita, and Milotic all have a lot of potential. I would like to see Muddy Water personally in the Pumpy slot, but obviously Pump is a lot of damage. Clef, obviously, is the one I've spoken about a bit recently in videos as well, so really, really cool team there. Anything we can pull from this? I mean, Incin, dude, Incin with a 36% win rate is actually so bad. Who's like winning? Glamora undefeated. Dude, wait, a Drifblim team? A Drifblim Sneasel team? How did I miss that? 4-1. Was it a drop? Oh no, he went undefeated, lost first round of Top Cut. I see. Dude, Drifblim plus Indeedee, choice specs Indeedee as well. Are you Tailwind? Yeah. So you got Unburdened Tailwind. Obviously, you've got the Blood Moon, sorry, the regular Ursaluna here as well. Life Orb pursuing Arcanine here. Focus Sash Sneasler. Why would you run this over? Sorry, why would you run Hisuian Sneasel over Sneasler? That's really interesting. I wonder if there's, is it because they're inner focus? It's probably inner focus, right? I'm guessing. And then AV Lapras, that's also really interesting as well. That's a really cool team here. We already looked at the metagame, so we'll move on to the next event. The Citrus series here, I think this was the second biggest event. This is really cool. We see Aquabreed Tauros win. Again, we see Big Clef. Dude, Big Clef is actually having like way better results than Baby Clef is right now. Mirror Herb Aquabreed as well is also really cool. One of the things I like with this is you can use Pokemon like Clef plus Golden Go to bait out like Terrafire on the Annihilapes. And then you just bring in the Tauros, say, hey, I'm faster than you. I'm now +2 because I have Mirror Herb. And I'm going to run through your team, which is really cool. Also, Rilla plus Volk. This is a combo I expect to see rise up a lot. I think like Fake Out plus Quiver Dance and then like Grassy Terrain just healing up is incredibly hard to deal with right now. And again, you've got like you've got like Fake Out plus a Redirection here. You've got two mons that love setting up next to Rillaboom. And then two just really good offensive pieces. Really cool team. I love this one a lot here. This one's a relatively standard Arch Rain. This one here, I guess, is a not standard. Do we have Tailwind on the Hydreigon? Yeah, we do. Yeah, so this one here is cool as well. It kind of looks like it has like a Trick Room mode. But realistically, I think this team probably wants to play in Tailwind a bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if this Armarouge and Ursaluna have a little bit of speed on them. But yeah, this is a really cool take on more of an offensive team. Like, obviously, you have the Trick Room mode with like Gallade, Indeedee, Armarouge, Ursaluna, and Amoonguss, but you can go a fast mode as well with like Hydreigon, Ursaluna, Gallade, and Armarouge as well, which is really cool. Same with Indeedee as well. Indeedee is also fine on those like faster modes. Anything here? Dude, my guy Buzz, you know, I showcased the Buzz team the other day. Other people are now playing Buzz too. You'd love to see it. Yeah, I actually think, like, I'll talk about it now. I think Electabuzz is one of the best supports in the game right now. I think it does not see enough play. I would like to see Electroweb on this team, especially because it's a very balanced, heavy team, but obviously they've decided to opt for T-Wave as their speed control, which, you know, can't fault them for. Obviously, it is really good. And Palafin, you know, seeing a bit of results too. Palafin's someone that we kind of haven't seen do as well as I think a lot of people thought it would. I think we looked at this same team earlier before. Yeah, we did. It's like the Pult Goldie plus like Luna and P2. This team here, this isn't my version, is it? My version had Electabuzz on it, but very similar to the team I had. Slightly different to my team, but yeah, really cool. I think I had Electabuzz in the Rillaboom, but yeah, I really like this Firewater Grass here of Talonflame, Prim, and Decidueye. Obviously, Talonflame gives you the Tailwind, and Prim and Decidueye are two like middle speed mons where with just a little bit of investment, they can both outspeed a majority of the threats in the metagame. And of course, things like Golden Go plus Rillaboom is just a fantastic, setup option, right? That's one thing I really like about this team. You've got this hyper offensive mode where like everything on your team likes to play with Tailwind, but you can also slow the pace of the game down, right? You can use the Rillaboom to help set up the Golden Go, help set up the Primarina, right? You've also got the Hydreigon that can kind of just like break holes through teams. This set here as well, I'm a huge fan of. I've been calling this my Chi-Yu set, where you basically just Chi-Yu, but with Draco Meteor instead of Overheat. You just go like the Choice Specs, Terrafire, with Heat Wave, and yeah, you kind of like you're this format's Chi-Yu, which is really cool. Any other teams I want to talk about here? Probably not. I do want to try to keep this video short, and I've already been recording for over 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. I've still got 3 tournaments I want to go over here. One by AU Boy, a fellow Australian. I'm not too sure who this is, but this is a pretty cool take on a potential rain team as well. I do know the homie Winter Knight. Shout out to him. He loves his Golden Go plus Mouse ult here. Really, really good combo. Obviously, Life Orb, King Gambit as well is pretty sick. We do have a Rain Dance Mercury setting up for the Baskia Legion as well, which is really cool. Especially too because it is adaptability. So you're not necessarily relying on rain to like give you the speed boost. Like Mercury's there to give you the speed. Obviously, Mercury plus Golden Go is just pretty standard as well. But yeah, some pretty good pieces here. I do like this team a lot. Anything else cool? Obviously, Charizard's Sun seeing a bit of play. We do love to see this. I do think Choice Scarf Charizard is definitely a little slept on right now. I do expect to see it rise up just a little bit. We got the Gastro and the Rillaboom, obviously, for the rain matchup. Grimmsnarl giving you screens, obviously, is really good. And, of course, Giraffe can set up, the Trick Room for the Torkoal to kind of go crazy as well if you end up in that position. So, yeah, really cool team here. Clear Smog as well obviously helps out with the Dozo as well, which is a pretty cool tech to see on Torkoal. Anything else? I think we covered this team already. It's like the Glimdozo. Yeah, it's like a pretty standard one. Also pretty standard rain team. Anything too great? Dude, okay, Blazebreed Taurus. Hold on. You've got my attention here. Clear Amulet Blazebreed. I do like this set a lot. CC plus Will-O-Wisp and Flare Blitz I do think is really good in the current metagame. Gastro, again, this gives you a rain matchup. P2 Ursaluna gives you a really solid Trick Room mode. Yeah, really cool team there as well. Choice Banded Dragapult as well. That's my guy. Absolutely love Banded Deepult. Anything else crazy I want to look at? Flamigo, actually. I like seeing the Flamigo. This is the other scrappy stuff, which is really good. Upper hand plus close combat just gives you a really good matchup into things like Incineroar, which is pretty nice. Banded Arcanine plus Whimsicott is something else I've spoken about as well. Interesting to see the Sunny Day as well here, but I'm guessing that's more for like anti-rain than actually actively trying to set up Sunny Day often. But yeah, really cool team as well, especially when you get the Heat Wave on the Hydreigon plus Whimsicott as well. So yeah, really sick team there. I do like that. Anything else crazy? I mean, this team's a little wild. What is this? I'm guessing this is like Belly Drum. Is it? Yeah, Belly Drum Titan here as well, which is also really cool, especially with the support it has, right? Terra Water Liquidation. You got Clef to keep it alive. You got Sinistcha healing it up, Rillaboom as well, and then Kamoa as well with the Throat Spray. So that's really cool. You have like the special sweeper, you have the physical sweeper, you have like 3 really good support pieces, and then you have Co-Star Flamigo to steal the buffs off one of them and kind of run through. So yeah, really, really cool team there as well. I do like this team a lot as well. Mouse 8 plus Hisuian Zoroark. It is a team I've spoken about a little bit myself. I do think this mod does not get the respect it deserves right now, but yeah, really, really cool set there. And again, we see like the Firewater Grass palette stuff plus Mouse 8 being really, really annoying. In terms of the metagame breakdown here, Komori did really good. I mean, that's just like all the mons that did good here apparently got one play. D-Knight though, I've been saying it before, I'll say it again, this mon slept on. Another one I'm hoping to bring a video out, a team out. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to use D-Knight in a video in the coming days. I'm working on a team right now that I think is pretty saucy with it. Jump over to here though, we see another this is the Wide League Rumble as well. This had a few players, right? Yeah, like 74 players. This is another pretty cool team here as well. We see another Aqua Breed Taurus here with Mirror Herb. Again, this is just really good into things like Incineroar, right? It's really, sorry, not Incineroar, into things like King Gambit and what's it called, Annihilate. Obviously, Life Orb, Talonflame. This is a mod I'm a huge fan of. Interesting to see dual Wing Beat. This is basically, at least my understanding of this is due to the adaptation of Whimsicott's going Focus Sash so they don't get bopped by Brave Bird. Also, not being, there to break, actually, no, because you're going to break Gale Wings with Live Orb anyway. I don't know. I guess that's there for the Satch Whimsicots. Obviously, Specs Goldie is really good with it. Specs Goldie is also really good with Rillaboom. You've got the Mouthhold as well, which is also really good with the Specs Goldie. You've got the setup Hydreigon, which again is really good with things like Rillaboom and Mousehold. And Taurus is just like a really cool piece, man. I am a huge fan of Aquabreed Taurus right now. We see another cool take on Rain here as well. No Archaludon, but obviously got the Overquill here with Haze, which is really solid. And yeah, just a really, really good team, dude. This is nice. Citrus Berry Hydreigon is very interesting, though, I will say. And Clear Amulet Basculegion, a lot of the time you just see like things like Choice Banded plus Flip Turn, but I mean, pretty cool take on it. Obviously, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Giraffe is just pretty damn standard, and Tailwind Hydreigon right now really does feel like it's the best Tailwind setter if you're not running Priority right now, which is obviously very good to keep in mind, right? Especially if you are someone who wants to run like Tailwind, but you don't want to run one of the Priority 3. This team here is really cool. I should have touched on one of them earlier. This is the this got some really cool pieces. Obviously, you got the Tatsugiri plus Dondozo. You've got Bruxish as well here, which I do think has quite a bit of utility. But one thing I will say is the cool thing with this team is this. It's Choice Specs, Terra Steel, Golden Go with Steel Beam and Make It Rain next to Berserker. So for anyone who I guess doesn't understand how Berserker work, its ability Steely Spirit basically gives a buff to allies steel attacks by like 50%. So basically, Golden Go with like Choice Specs, Terra Steel, plus Steely Spirit is stupid amounts of damage. And Berserker is also a fake out support as well. And then on top of that, you know, it's still just a steel type itself. Chopper Barrow is really good right now. And yeah, basically, Goldango will just absolutely rip a hole in the opposing team. And then Dozakiri kind of comes in and cleans up is kind of the gist of it. Not really sure what Bruxish is doing on this team. It seems really interesting. Maybe it's like tech to be faster than the Goldie, so you can like lead Bruxish, Golden Go, Flip Turn into Berserker in the games where you don't want to use Geary, or Dozagiri, but I don't know. Maybe someone is catching something I'm missing with that team there. Is this a Swamp team? Did I look at this team? I didn't look at this team. This team is also really sick. Went 8-1. I do really like this team as well. Pretty solid balance. Once again, we see Hydreigon here with the Tailwind. But again, you know, we got T-Tar on sand right now. I do think T-Tar's pretty solid. And then Goldie Rillaboom's just standard. Primarina really feels like it's taking that spot as arguably the best water type in the game. And Rilla plus Gus just feels like one of the best support combos in the game right now. Very, very good. Yeah, this was the team I wanted to check out. Do you have... No, damn, no Swamp. I was going to say I'm a huge fan of Swamp, but unfortunately we don't have it here. But again, you have this like Trick Room mode here as well that can also kind of go fast. And Hydreigon once again is the other Tailwind setter here. So this is like a really good balanced team that like doesn't need speed control to win. But obviously has the Trick Room, it has the other Tailwind, and can put in a lot of work there as well, especially with the Psy Spam stuff. And Meowscarada can obviously just crit its way through a lot of matchups. Anything crazy else I want to look at here? Pretty hard Trick Room here. Like this is hard Spider Trick Room. This is just like, actually it's not even hard Trick Room. It's like, you've got Volk plus Rillaboom, and then you got like hard Trick Room here. No Smeagol, no Decorate's interesting on this team. I would have thought they'd run Decorate, but obviously like their Trick Room mode is always going to be like Clops, Luna, Spider plus like probably one of the fake out ones, and then I'm assuming they like look at like the double fake out Volcarona plus like probably Blood Moon if they're playing the other setup Volcarona. So that's also a really cool team there. Anything too crazy here? I do apologize if I'm going too fast here. I'm just trying to keep the video below like 40 minutes if I can. The metagame here as well, of course, Golden Go on top, 55% win rate is really solid for the most used Pokemon in the game. Hydreigon's win rate in this tournament was insane, 69%. That's very nice. That is very nice. Anything else here? Basculegion also has like a really solid win rate, but that's not surprising. Salamon's also really solid. Yeah, a lot of really good results there. And then the last event we'll look at here, I really like this team here. This is like another one of those like hybrid Trick Room Tailwind teams. Obviously, you know, if anyone hasn't heard me say it in the past, the best electric types in the format right now are like Porygon 2 and Porygon Z. I think they're both really good Terra Electric Pokemon right now. Again, we got Rillaboom plus Goldie giving you like that kind of balance mode where you can go like fake out and spam, make it rain. And then of course, having Nasty Plot plus Rillaboom, always a great combo. Of course, Talonflame here pairs up incredibly well with like the whole team. Even if like the P2 and Ursaluna are running a little bit of speed, they can still function in in Trick Room against like the slower teams, and against some of the, you know, the more balance heavy teams, they can function in the Tailwind as well. And I'm a huge fan of Talonflame plus Ursaluna. I think it's a really good combo. Basically just giving Ursaluna that little bit of extra speed control. And then yeah, Ursaluna can kind of just run through games, especially with like SD plus Guts is kind of insane. And yeah, Primarina pretty standard. This Rilla like Talonflame Primarina is like really good. But Talonflame plus Primarina is just really good as well. Not much else I can really say. Just a really cool team there. I really like that one on paper. We see a little bit of balance here. This is like screens plus setup Volk, is it? Yeah, setup Volk, setup Ape. Also, yeah, Power Herb Stamina as well on Archelodon. I do think this is a really good set. I'm surprised it's actually not Power Herb Sturdy now that I actually look at it. Where is the Assault Vest on this team? Oh, it's on the Gastro. Interesting. That's really interesting. For some reason, I just like assumed this was like Sturdy, but it's still Stamina. Very interesting. But obviously Grimstyle, screens are really good. No attacking move Grimstyle is actually kind of wild. Normally you expect to at least see Spirit Break. Obviously Scary Face gives you a bit of extra speed control as well, plus screen. So yeah, the Grimstyle there is really, really dangerous. Is that kind of it? We will look at this last team in a second here. I love this core here as well. Very similar to the team I ran with. I think that's probably going to be it. Let's look at this team because I do believe this was the team Emmy ran at the Himi Tour. But yeah, this is a really cool team. I think it's worth covering again. This is the weakness policy Annihilate. With like, it's pretty standard stuff, except be like weakness policy plus Terra Dragon. You have the Comfey here with Draining Kiss, Floral Healing to obviously keep you alive. But the really cool thing with this team is the Salazzle pairing the Annihilate with the Hydreigon. Basically, you have Dragon Cheer onto your Hydreigon, who has Scope Lens and basically is guaranteed to get a crit, which is really, really cool if you ask me. But then, of course, if you go Terra Dragon, you can Dragon Cheer it, and then your Annihilate has a 50% chance to crit. And when you're firing off some pretty insane Rage Fist, that can do a lot of damage, obviously. And of course, critting the Drain Punch at like +1 will get you a lot of HP back. And Poison Gas as well on the Salazzle is really cool. It's really good at slowing down the game as well. Like, you can get the Poison Gases off and then kind of like spam Protect, Redirection with the mouse hold. And really chip down pieces that might, give things like the Annihilate or the Arzu a lot of problems. And then finally, Arzu as well. Citrus Berry, huge power. This is the Belly Drum stuff paired up with Comfey. It is just really good, right? You get up to +6. Your huge power plus Aqua Jet, you can run through teams. You've got a lot of ways to support it as well. And yeah, it's a really, really cool mon and a really cool team for it. Yeah, I won't go too far into it. Obviously, this tournament was a bit smaller. It only had 64 players, so we don't have that many players at like 4-2+. We do see, like, again, Toxicroak. Like, I said this in a video a couple weeks ago, man. I think Toxicroak is... Why do I have, like, no information for this? I do think Croak is, like, really slept on right now. Like, Dry Skin against these rain teams is really good. Not to mention, it's a fast fake out mon. Has really good, like, stabs in close combat and gunk shot. Also gets access to knock off as well, which is, yeah, pretty damn solid. And then for the metagame, let's take a look. Once again, Conkeldurr on top. Dude, Amoonguss actually dethroning Rillaboom as the top grass type as well is really interesting. Hisuian Arcanine doesn't lose a game, going 2-0. Obviously, Croak, my guy Buzz as well, a 3-1 drop. Mian Xiao has a really good showing as well. Glamour, really good showing. Yeah, just a lot of like really good stuff going on between these events. But I think that is going to be it for today. We'll go back to here. Is there any other like events I need to touch on? I don't think so. Like, that's basically it. I'm pretty sure I like went over all of them. Obviously, I could go into things like the VGC Academy and whatnot. It did have 48 players. I mean, there's a few of them. Like, I guess that one and the Team Rocket Tour. Oh, actually, yeah, we'll go over Rocket Tour because this is my guy, Kai. Shout out, Kai. Great guy. Benji as well, very active in my Discord. He had a really good showing here with his Side Spam Sunroom team as well. So we'll cover this one and then we'll kind of end it off today. We do see like 2 rain teams back to back. Is this Life Orb Surf? I want to know. It's not Life Orb Surf, damn. That would have been really cool. I guess for anyone who doesn't know, there was a team way back where people were playing like Life Orb Special Dozo in the rain. It was like kind of insane because everyone, like, especially on closed team sheet, you see the Dozo and you expect like the wave crashes, the earthquakes and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you get like a modest non-Dozo. It gets like +2 Life Orb boost Terra Water in the rain. It does a lot of damage. And even on this team, like this wave crash is still absolutely destroying a lot of Pokemon. So yeah, that's really cool. I do really like this take on the rain team here. As much as I hate Dozo, it is good to see it doing well. And then, yeah, Benji's team here as well. Awesome, really cool team as well. He is a massive Side Spam player. He absolutely loves his Gallade. As you can see, it's in the name. So, yeah, shout out to him. Had a really good showing. And, of course, shout out to the homie Lord Kai. Lord Kai is a fellow Australian player. Hosts a lot of tournaments. Really good dude. Anything else crazy here as well? We got a little bit of Dragapult plus Dondozo shenanigans here. Some more, not standard fire water grass. It's pretty, like, hyper offensive. Yeah, look, we'll probably wrap it up there for today. There are a lot of cool teams. And look, there's a lot of things we could go through here as well. Like, I know I could speak about this all day, but I know for the viewing experience, I don't want to sit here, like, just ripping off the top of my head here for like an hour straight. We do see Incin absolutely dominate the usage here, though. 10 more than Conkeldurr, which is kind of wild if you ask me. And yeah, Dozo, Pelipper. Like, dude, Pelipper is just dominating these events. Rain is way too good. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Otherwise, I'll be here all freaking day. If you like the video, let me know down below. And of course, if you think there are any, Pokemon teams that you think are doing really good right now, let me know down below. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.